Hello students, today we are going to deal with Unit 2nd Reading C, The Brave Potter. Unit 2nd Reading C, The Brave Potter, and this is a folk tale. I think all of you know meaning of the folk tale. Folk means the people, tale means a story. Means a story which talked about the or told about the people is called folk tale. The Brave Potter. Reading C, The Brave Potter. It is a folk tale. Folk tale. Folk tale means the story told about the people in ordinary way. Okay, folk tale. Right. You see, there are three words: tell, tell, verb, tell, verb, tail, tail, noun, tail, tail, noun, tale, tale, noun, tail, story, tail, part of the body of animal which extend behind. Tell means saying. Right, say. Tell means say. Now here, folk tale, it is a story, it's a narration. It is a story or narration. If you are asked what kind of text the Brave Potter is, the answer will be narration or story. Right? Narration or story. In option A, B, C and D, if there is no narration, no story, if it is given the folk tale, that will be answer. Right? Okay. Now see, who has written this here? Margaret Sake. Who is the writer? Margaret Sake. Right. In this particular text, the Potter, main character is a Potter, protagonist. Protagonist is a Potter. Do you know meaning of a potter? Potter means one who works with the soil to make the pots. One who works with the soil to make pots. Kumari in Telugu. Kumari. Right. Brave Potter means, was the potter brave in a real sense? What made him to become a brave? How he was treated before and after the event is completed? Was he happy with his life after he was chosen given a title by the king? Let us see in this text, in this story, The Brave Potter. Ready all of you? Yes. Margaret Sake had chosen a very well-known Indian folk tale for retelling in English. Retailing, tailing, retailing. You see, tailing and retailing. Tailing means with own creation. Retailing means with the translation. With the translation. Right. Retailing. Saying again and again in a translated version. Children and adults alike are fond of folk tales. Fond of. Fond of means love. Much more. Or like. Miss everyone. Everyone likes a storytelling. Do you or not? Meeku story nachtada leda? Definitely yes. And see, which are often amusing and sometimes instructive. Amusing. Amusing means which makes happy. Amuse. Amusing. And sometimes instructive means give some instruction, some message. Right. And now see, this is a story. The narration, the story begins. It was dark. It was dark. Thick black clouds covered the evening sky. What time is mentioned in this text? Evening time. The thunder roared and the strong wind shook the branches and leaves of the trees in the forest. Yes, the thunder roared. Now you have to think based on the text. You will be asked one question: which season, which period is mentioned in this text? Right. Now it is not given here, but if you have mind, you can apply it. You can experience, you can apply your experience. See what is here? The thunder roared and the strong wind shook the branches and leaves of the trees in the forest. Yes, the thunder roared. Let me know in which season, in which month thunder roars. Yes, very good, right. Means before the rainy season. Means end of the May month. End of the May month. Before rainy season. Mruga nakshatra mundu. Right, okay. If it is asked which period is mentioned in the text is, you can take here end of the May or beginning of the June. Or you can use just a summer. But summer means not beginning onwards. Summer is a period of 3 to 4 months together. That's why you have to go with ending of month May and beginning of June. Pit, pat, pit. Drops of rain fell. Pit, pat, pit is a kind of a sound. When the water drops, raindrops fall on the ground, then you say pit, pat or tap, 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 tap. Okay. Or suppose water is stagnant water is there dubuk, dubuk, dubuk sound, different sounds will be there. Here pit, pat, pit is the pattering sound of raindrops. Okay. Then the lightning flashed and split the black sky with its blinding light. Yes. And see, at first, terrible sound, thunder, card, card, card. Terrible sound. Again immediately, the flashlight. Pirugu padutundi. Right. Then the lightning flashed. Flashed means gave the light out. Gave the flash out, light out, and spread the black sky with its blinding light. Yes. Is it possible? Can a thunder or can a lightning split the sky into two? Actually, see what happens. There is a vast sky, and where the flash of lightning falls, it gives a flash out, light out, means it is dividing the sky. Not dividing the sky, but dividing the dark due to the light. Okay. Soon it was raining heavily. Idi condition. Okay. It was ending of May month or beginning of June, before the Mruga nakshatra, before the rain starts. There was a terrible sound, thunder everywhere, and suddenly lightning fall there with a pit, pat, pit, raindrops falling on the ground. Due to the lightning, the sky split into two, and suddenly heavy rain started, or rain started heavily. Then what happens here? An old tiger ran through the rain looking for a shelter. Okay, a tiger. It is an old tiger ran through the rain looking for shelter. He was wet and cold, and his cave was far away from the place where he was at present. His cave was far away. Then what to do? While hurrying to his shelter, he saw an old hut. Yes, this tiger was an old one. His cave was far away. He was moving towards his cave, but on the way to his cave, he found an old hut nearby. He entered into the hut. With a sigh of relief, the tiger crawled under the thatched roof and lay down by the door. What kind of roof it is found there? What kind of house it was there? Our general question will be asked to you. Based on this particular sentence, how many kinds of houses are there? Right. What are they? You know, you are the students of social study. Thatched roof. Thatched roof means hut or cottage, and sealed roof. Kacha house, pakka house. Right. Except for the sound of the rain, all was quiet. You see the tiger, it got wet due to the rain, and it entered into the crawled means moving on the elbows or abdomen into the cottage. It was a silence everywhere. It was a silent situation. Okay, except the pit pat pit raindrop sound. Before he could nod off means doze. Nod off. Doze. D-O-Z-E. A cat nap. Small sleep. Small sleep. Cat nap. It is also called here cat nap. Or a small nap. Right. As it was cold, he wants to take rest as he was tired. And before he could nod off, however, he heard something heavy being dragged inside the hut. My God, someone was dragging something heavy item into the hut. There is a open-ended question. What do you think the heavy thing dragged might be? Okay. What do you think the heavy thing might be that dragged into the room or hut? Now, it is your opinion, you have to express it. What I think, it may be a heavy sack of something dragging into the room. Okay, fear of drenching into the rain. Right? And then heavy grains. If it is a grain, seeds, someone might be dragging into the cottage to protect from the rain. And you can write your own answer. Right? This was followed by the voice of a woman. It means the woman was dragging the heavy thing into the cottage. What the woman was saying? Oh, how terrible this leak is. How terrible this leak, L-E-A-K, leak. Leak means release of a drop. Release of a drop from the roof. From the roof. Release of a drop. Leakage, you see, tap leakage. Tap leakage. Water leak aithe untundi. That is. The woman said, what terrible this leak is. She complained, how terrible. I would rather meet a tiger in the forest than have leak this in my house. My God. This was heard by the tiger. The woman said, I might prefer to face the tiger in the forest than this leak. Means, according to the woman, the leak is more terrible than the tiger in the forest. Now, tiger confused and afraid of also. My God, who the leak is? How terrible it is? Am I not a king of the forest? Many questions rose in the tiger's mind. See, a leak, the tiger thought. What is a leak? It must be very dangerous and strong, or the woman would not be more frightened of the leak than of me. Yes, I thought I am a king of the forest, and everyone afraid of me to see. But this woman is terribly afraid to see the leak, means the leak might be stronger than me. Am I not rightly called the king of the forest? Aren't they all afraid of me? I wonder what a leak looks like. అది ఎలా ఉంటుంది లీక్ అంటే ఏంటి ఎంత పెద్ద ఉంటుంది am I not called in real sense the king of the forest? Soon afterwards the tired tiger fell asleep. నిద్రపోయింది. He was suddenly awakened by an angry voice shouting in his ear. He felt heavy blows fall upon his head and shoulders. The tiger slept, and he was woken up by the sound, terrible sound, angry sound, and some blows, putting blows on his body to his stomach. Means someone was kicking him, hitting him, giving with a strong blows and shouting angrily. How the sound was shouting? You terrible beast! Voice screamed angrily. How dare you run away? How dare you make me walk about in the middle of the night trying to find you? Be careful. One of the days I will kill you. Now go home. My God, the sound was terrible, in angry mood, but he could not notice from which direction or by whom the sound was created. He listened these sounds. Right. The old tiger shivered, means cringed with the fear, chala bhayapada, because the sound was very terrible and asking to go ahead, if not he will kill. That made the tiger to cring, afraid of a lot. It was shivering with a fear, and this must be the leak who has come out of the hut. I would better do as says, or he will kill me. Tiger decided, my God, oh, this tiger is this might be the leak. These angry words might be of the leak, and leak might have come from the hut. And if I didn't follow his words, he is going to kill me. That's why I will better to follow whatever he says. And tiger decided. So the tiger allowed himself to be bound around the neck with a thick rope. The mysterious creatures then climbed onto the tiger's back and pulled at the rope. You see, it was dark. That's why the tiger could not see, okay, what was happening with him and who was riding on his back. He thought the creature might be the leak, the strongest one. That's why the tiger let the sound tie the rope around his neck. After the rope is tied around neck, the sound rode on its back. And see, climbed onto the tiger's back and pulled at the rope, pulling, come on. And now see, you see in the picture, the potter is riding on a strong old tiger, and he said, yes, come on, head for home. Head for means intingi nadu, let's go home, shouted the voice. The tiger felt a sharp kick on his side, kicking on side. And you see, the feature of a potter is potter always worked with soil, and he used the means of transportation of soil from one place to another, the donkey. Okay, and when the potter rides the donkey, it kicks both the sides by riding on it and just pulls on, come on, move forward. Right. It means the potter thought that, or the who was riding on the tiger was a potter, and potter thought that it was his donkey. Okay, that's why he's getting angry and shouting loudly and kicking him both sides, riding. And then see, the tiger felt sharp kick on his side. The tiger was terrified and ran through the dark forest. Right. The creature pulled hard on the rope to tell him which way to go. At the same time, it scolded, cursed, and kicked the poor tiger. And soon they stopped in front of a small hut on the edge of the thick forest. The creature climbed down from the tiger's back and bound him with an iron chain to a nearby tree. And this creature kicked several times, shouted angrily several times, pulled the rope strongly to head in which direction the tiger has to go. And at last they stopped before a hut where a tree was there, and the creature got down from the tiger and tied him with a thick rope to the forest, to the tree. Then he went inside the hut. The tiger could not free himself from the chain, so he had to spend a miserable night under the tree. Yes. The tiger tried a lot to get separated from the tree or chain, but it could not. The creature went into the hut, and it was futile effort by the tiger to get it from the chain. That's why it was under the tree throughout the night. Who was this creature? Who was able to capture such a large and dangerous tiger? Let us find out. అంటే ఆ క్రియేచర్ ఎవరు? How the creature was able to capture the world strong tiger, big tiger, and tie to the tree? Who that fellow is? Let us in the next paragraph. Right? Okay, students, let us continue the lesson in the next period. Till that, have a nice day.